Welcome to Dear Diary, the self-love podcast. This is your place to dive deep into personal development and self-love inspiration, connecting you to your intuition, your body, and your higher self, while unlocking and activating your confidence and inner power, inspiring you to show up and choose you over everything that gets thrown in your way, instead of listening to the limiting beliefs running around inside of your head. We will explore a variety of topics from conquering fear, letting go of doubt, self awareness, mom guilt, trusting your intuition, along with a ton of self care tools that I'll be sharing along the way. With solo sessions and a magnetic guest list of remarkable souls, this is my platform to empower others while using my voice to share my self love, growth, and healing journey. I hope that this podcast serves you well and you get as much value from it as I do sharing it. So here we go. Welcome back to another episode of Dear Diary, the self-love podcast. I'm your host, Amanda Beatty, and today I'm sharing something vulnerable AF. One of my journal entries where I practiced what I preach all the time, feeling my feels, being with it, sitting with it, moving through it, really tapping into what's going on inside of me. And this was a heavy one, and I'm excited to share it, and I'm sharing it because I want to inspire and invite you to be more intentional about how you feel your feels. And this can become a really powerful, transformational self-care practice. And it doesn't always have to be all about all the heavy stuff. Even just at the end of the day or in the beginning of the day, just being with yourself for a moment to see, like, what am I feeling right now? What's moving through me? What's coming up for me? How do I feel? Gaining clarity, being present, tapping into self-awareness. Like, it's just so important. And in this situation, instead of being super triggered and pouring a glass of wine or turning on Netflix and just drowning out my life with noise, I came back to my little Zen corner in my office and I meditated and I did some EFT tapping and I breathed and I journaled and I felt and I cried and I screamed into my pillow and I tapped into my intuition. And that all took like 15 minutes. It sounds like, oh my God, she's back there for hours. Just who has time for that? It took me 15 minutes to just tap in, see what was going on. I popped a piece of white chocolate in my mouth and I just wrote and felt, and it works. It really works. So I'm sharing this with you and I hope it inspires you to sit with yourself more, especially if there's something that has been like bubbling up from the depths of you. I mean, this is an issue that I've been avoiding. Um that has been like really far distant in the background of my life, but it's just always been like this black cloud that's sort of lingering, and I'm just waiting for it to resurface. I was just waiting for it to start drizzling on me, and sure enough, that day it did, and I was feeling all the feels. And so I practice what I preached. So I hope you enjoy this episode. Feel free to reach out to me if you do sit with your feels and you need extra support. I am literally just a message away. In the show notes, I link all the places that you can find me. And I just want to also say thank you for listening. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to tune in to this podcast. The feedback that I've gotten from some of you have just been, it's been so incredible to hear. And this is a really vulnerable episode for me. And I kind of enjoy doing it because I got to put in some of like my heart into reading the words. in my journal, and it took me back to that moment, and I'm really proud of the growth that has come from this little 5 foot nothing human in the last 2 years. And I'm excited to share it with you all. I knew that this podcast was going to be a place for me to vent and integrate and soundboard and verbally process some of the things that I'm going through. But I don't think you guys understand. I don't think you gals understand how much that's true. Like, I'm just come on here and speak from my heart. And so for the those of you who do listen and find value in it, I'm just like over the moon excited, over the moon grateful that you take the time out of your day to listen. I love you so much, and I encourage you, share it with a friend, tell a friend about it, post it in your stories, tag me. Like, the more we can get this message out there, the more we can help heal the world. I know it sounds so like cheesy and cliche, but it's just freaking true. We're all going through things. We are all in the arena. I am too. I say this all the time. You guys, I'm doing these things with you. The stuff that I share, I haven't moved through it and I'm on the other side of it. And I'm just like, oh, yeah, it's nice to be done with that. Like, no, we're still doing it. So I hope this is a good listen for you, and I hope it inspires you to tap in, see what's going on inside of you. Sit with that thing that's been lingering over you for quite some time now, and you just keep avoiding it. You don't really want to feel it, and you think that if you do feel it, it's just going to consume you. It doesn't. Feel it through. Feel it all the way through to the other side. I promise you, there's magic on that. And the clarity that I gained from sitting with myself for 15 minutes, I feel so much more at peace with this external circumstance. And I'm excited for the wisdom that it's going to continue to bring with me the more I lead with love and the more that I experience what's going on instead of just running and hiding from it. So, without further ado, here we go. Where do I begin? These thoughts are rolling. The emotions are fully present at the surface. Sensations are buzzing in every corner of my body, every nook and cranny of my soul. I'm feeling eager in anticipation of what's to come in this process of unlearning and becoming. This unease and curiosity that I feel inside of me as I step into old familiar places and peoples and patterns that once would send me spiraling into a not self fury of just triggered and anxious and conversations happening, the uncovering of old band-aid wounds that haven't seen the light of day for months and months, if not years. Difficult conversations about black clouds from the past, resurfacing of hard struggles and conflicting energies and people. Lots of contracting happening in my body. I feel like I can't even breathe. I'm attempting to be fully present. I'm welcoming and I'm compassionate for all of it. It's here. I feel it. I see it. I acknowledge it. What once was an easy opportunity for me to run, fight, or hide, or cope, or drink is now an opportunity, not so easy, to feel, to be, to surrender, to lead with love, and stay open and trusting and knowing that this is for my greatest good. Whatever this is, whatever I'm feeling, whatever current situation has arisen into my presence for me to just feel. Maybe these situations are here to show me where my blind spots are. Maybe they're here to guide me deeper into my highest embodied self. Maybe they're here to show me the wisdom that I have yet been willing to see. I'm sitting with all of this at the surface. It's bubbling underneath the deepest parts of me. I know that the more I push these feelings away, the louder they will become, and the more I will fall back into my old patterns. Ugh, this is so fucking hard. I wish I didn't know how to do these practices. I wish I didn't know how to feel. I wish I could just wish this all away. What do I do now? Lead with love? Embody the woman who's a fucking badass? Continue to sit with these feelings? Welcome these contractions with grace and compassion and love? Allow others in this story to have their feelings and their opinions and their judgments and their concerns, but I don't have to attach to any of it. They're not mine. It's going to be okay. Remembering who I am, protecting my energy. This will feel uncomfortable at first, but I've got this. I can't continue to ignore this anymore. I can't continue to push this down. It needs to be felt. And what I can do is set boundaries to protect my energy and my integrity. I can be kind and compassionate. I can be the bigger person. I can embody my highest self and give others the opportunity to meet me where I'm at. I can choose peace over being triggered. I can choose to rise above. I can maintain my vibration and not allow their energy to drag me into my old familiar self. Fuck that. I can allow myself to not drag myself into those old familiar patterns. This is what we've been practicing, Amanda. This is my edge. I can trust that. I can do this. This is what the tools are for. This is what the practices are for. This is what you share all the time. Practice what you preach. Things will get better. Things will get easier. And I will trust that moving through these situations, instead of just ignoring them, are what's needed. The other side of this will bring me comfort and ease and love and opportunities for strong relationships. More love, more memories, more ease and peace and joy. It's okay to sit with this. Allowing myself to feel emotional, allowing myself to be tender while I'm stepping back into a vulnerable and difficult situation right now. It's going to be okay. I'm loving my inner child through all of this right now. I'm asking for support from the universe as I step slowly and cautiously into the unknown, building and rebuilding these relationships, mending from the past, healing from the hurt, opening to the possibility of a thriving future. I cannot ignore this. Practicing the story of who I truly am in the process of showing up as my highest self. You got this, babe.